First off, I want to start by thanking everybody for making the trip here to Viroqua. This is really a celebration. Not a celebration just of our great project, Main Street Apartments, but really of the city of Viroqua as well. I have to say, rural housing is something that North Point's been doing for a long time. Better?
Oh, way better.
Awesome. North Point Development has been building affordable housing for a very long time. What we've learned is that it really takes a community to take a strong initiative, stand up, not only contribute financially to projects like this to get them across the finish line, but really the leadership. And I have to give a special thanks to Mayor Running, Nate, Sarah Granger, Lori, the entire city of Viroqua for taking such a strong leadership stance on this project. About 2 years ago, we started with this site that you guys are at here today. We wanted to build affordable housing. As an affordable housing developer here in the state, we knew that this project would be competitive with WIDA, that we had a good chance at securing tax credits. But we were facing a lot of challenges with the site as well. There's a lot of hair on the site. It's fairly contaminated. It's in a rural community, higher construction costs. We wanted to do underground parking to provide that amenity to the community. But then also you take a step back for a second and you realize, the city of Viroqua hasn't had an affordable housing project in, decades, if ever. And how can you make this more impactful than just housing? I go into a lot of rural communities with this concept and idea of health and wellness. And it means something different in every community that we go into. And we execute it a different way on every project. And here, Governor Evers and his administration put together something called the Neighborhood Investment Fund. With that was our signal with the city to say, hey, we're going to make this about more than just housing. So now we've added 6,000 square feet of childcare space, 3,000 square feet of retail space, and you'll hear from the city in a couple minutes, but there's a huge need for both of those elements in a rural community like this. Their main street's nearly full, if not at 100% occupancy. Childcare is at near full occupancy in the entire region. So this was really just an opportunity for us to step up with the city and get a really impactful project done. And I have to say, when you go into a community, you never know what to expect. How are the neighbors going to react? How's the community going to react? And Viroqua really is a special place. We came in here, neighbors came to meetings. Nate, you remember, neighbors would come to meetings and they'd say, not NIMBY, not in my backyard. They'd say YIMBY and, add some solar panels and electric vehicle charging stations and where's the green space? And hey, can you not can you push the building back a little bit so that we, have more space when we're turning the corner? It was that type of conversation. In the Plan Commission, the City Council, they all stepped up as well, realizing just what an impactful project this could be. So on behalf of North Point, on behalf of everybody here today, thank you for stepping up. Thank you for helping us get this project done, and we're really excited about what the impact will be on the entire region. With that, I'm going to introduce Governor Evers for a few remarks.
Thank you. All right. Let's see how that works. Well, Jake, thanks so much. It's great to be here. What a wonderful city this is, and celebrating the groundbreaking of the new Main Street Apartments here in Viroqua, which I understand is one of the largest economic development programs the city has ever seen. First of all, obviously, we have to thank the folks at North Point Development. I was up with them in Ladysmith not too long ago, talking about the project there where they use an old school. I can't remember if it's elementary school or high school for the same purpose. And just amazing. Good people. The city of Viroqua, thank you. Agency partners and all those who have given countless hours of their time and your time to make this project possible. My administration has supported this project with funding through several state agency programs, including, as mentioned before, the successful Neighborhood Investment Fund, programs through Wisconsin Housing and Economic Development Corporation, and also the DOA's Home Rental Housing Development Program. You know, folks, it doesn't matter where we are, whether it's here in the Driftless area or in the heart of our largest cities. The need for affordable housing is one of those issues that I hear most about as I travel across the state, and I do that often. It's also an issue that connects the dots between some of our most pressing issues facing our state. That's why last year I signed a package of bipartisan bills to address some of the major issues that Wisconsinites are facing, including need for workforce housing and ensuring that housing that we do have is safe and well maintained. And not long after that, I signed a budget that invested $525 million to help expand access to safe, affordable housing for working families, one of the largest investments in our state history. In fact, since 2019, our administration has invested in building nearly 15,000 affordable housing units across the state, including approximately 2,500 last year alone. Well, I'm proud of what we've accomplished so far. We have a long, long way to fully meeting our state's housing needs and addressing the countless other factors that impact individual housing status. That's why we're grateful for partners like the city, like North Point, and all those who played a role in getting us to this point today. The new building will not only provide 65 affordable units for low-income individuals, but will also prioritize, this is really cool, several units for veterans, create 6,000 square feet of child care center, and provide retail spaces that will support local employers and stimulate economic growth in the area. Developments like this are really important because they help support the economic health and vitality of Wisconsin's rural communities, providing essential services like child care so folks can get to work and be successful. On top of that, this Wisconsin Green Built Gold Standard building will help us reach our goal as becoming more environmentally responsible as a state through those solar panels on the roof and other sustainability efforts. Positive impact the Main Street apartments will have on this community is undeniable, and it's efforts like this that help us get closer to a brighter future for Wisconsinites. So I just thank you. And now it's my honor to introduce the great senator here, Brad Papp.
Thank you.
You bet.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, I too want to say thank you to all of you for coming out. And I want to say thank you to the city of Viroqua and its leadership. I want to say thank you to my legislative colleague, Lauren Oldenburg, and thank the governor for coming. Let's just take a step back. Viroqua is an absolutely beautiful community. This is a community that's rich in history. This is a community in which it's the county seat, center of commerce. It's where people have come for generations in order to invest, in order to live, in order to build their future. We are standing on an opportunity where we can continue to move Viroqua forward. As has been mentioned, the economic development opportunities, the housing, and the child care. It is going to continue to meet the needs as this community continues to grow and to prosper. There's a lot that's happening in Vernon County. There's a lot that's happening right here on the Main Street in Viroqua. This is a region of the state in which people feel welcome. They come here. They want to stay here. They want to be part of this family. And I am so grateful to represent this area in the Wisconsin State Senate, and I thank you for the work that you do. And with that, I'm going to ask Representative Oldenburg to come on up. Come on up, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you, Brad. Yes, I want to congratulate everyone involved in this. North Point, the city, the county, all the hard work that happened behind the scenes we've got here. Thanks to the governor for coming here. I always give him a hard time. He's here so often. He's going to become of Viroqua. So, yeah, what a great opportunity for everyone here. I was just talking to my cousin. He's getting up in years and maybe wants to downsize, but there's no place to downsize, and this gives an opportunity. Then the backside opens up their house for other people to come here and live. So this is a great opportunity. I've grown up here in Viroqua, watched this site for the last 40 years. I graduated 40 years ago, and what a difference. Really opens up. I gave Chad Williams the CNC landscape, and it's like, look out, he's going to keep on destructing all the way down Main Street what he's been doing here. So, but again, great job. Thank you. Thanks for all the support from the state, local, and looking forward to seeing the end product. So thank you. I'm going to turn this over to Mayor Justin Running.
Thank you. First off, I'd like to thank everybody for coming. Great turnout, wonderful day. What a wonderful place to be. You know, this site, everybody that's spoke so far has talked about the site, and it's such a great thing to see this being turned into what it's going to be. The housing, the daycare, the retail space, all things that we do not have any of available in the city of Viroqua right now. And this is going to make a huge difference. I was talking to Jake before we got started here, and this is the first day as mayor, my first day. Myself, Spanky, Jake, Nate, and Kurt sat down and had a meeting. And we talked about what they wanted to do here. Literally, my first day as mayor of Viroqua, we talked about this. And here we are, 2 years and a month later, it's happening. So the work that went in to make this happen by the city staff, the folks of the state of Wisconsin, is unbelievable. There's a lot of work to be done here. I thank the governor so much for all of his support and for coming here and all the support he gives to the Viroqua area. It certainly doesn't go unnoticed, so we're thank you for that. Everybody else, I know there's a list of folks to thank, and rather than try to stumble through it and forgetting somebody, I'm just going to thank everybody that's here. It means so much, your support. So, thank you.
Good job, man.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is representing the Viroqua Development Association. But in my mind, from my perspective, he's representing neighbors, residents of Viroqua, champions of projects like these that get these projects done. Because at the end of the day, city council members are elected by their residents. Plan commissioners, it all kind of comes together. But if the residents don't buy into the project, there is none. Especially in a community like this, where everything is so intertwined, everyone's so close and connected. So, Levon, I'll bring you up here to represent the VDA.
Thank you, Jake.
Yes.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Spanky from Sleepy Hollow Chevrolet. Also serve on the Viroqua. Hey, Brad.
Good to see you.
Governor. Serve on Viroqua Development Board I have for many years. I want to just say a few things. Not going to be wordy, but I want to start with. I want to thank the county. That was the county shop, since 1948. And I was talking to, you talk about, Phil Hewitt, his leadership in helping this happen. Lauren Gady, county board chair. Kyle Semke, I served on the county board when this started. Justin, you were on the county board as well. Your first time as mayor, that meeting, very important meeting. But that didn't happen unless the county board and this county decides to work with the city to help make this happen. So I do want to thank the county. Chad from CNC, we took the letters off. You got to wonder where them old letters are, them brass letters that say office. I have them. And if you switch them around, you can spell coffee. We do that in honor of the county workers. But anyway, I just, enough of that. I sent that to Phil Hewitt. He thought it was cute. I mixed the letters around. So anyway, that important meeting, the meetings that we had, the partnership between VDA, the city, the county, and making this happen, because that's what it takes. And I talked to other people in other communities and other states, and they asked me questions like, "What are you guys doing over there in Viroqua? Why does this happen?" And it's just the partnerships. It's the people. It's people sitting down saying, "This is going to happen. We're going to make this happen. How do we do this? How do we move forward?" And that, those things coming together with great leadership from the mayor and Nate Torres has been instrumental. And I don't want to start thanking people because I'll forget, but I just wanted to say that that's the difference here, is the people that get together and decide we're going to make this happen. We're going to make good things happen. And today is a great day for me. This is a great thing. I'm so excited about this. Thank you.
Good job.
And you too, Jake.
Appreciate it. I do want to list off some other folks before we bring some more speakers up here. I think the common theme here is really, it takes a village. It takes a lot of people saying, yes, we want this project to get done. So I've already thanked the city of Viroqua, our elected representatives. Thank you very much. Wisconsin Housing and Economic Development Authority. I want to reiterate the words of the governor. Once again, thank you so much for working with North Point here in Viroqua and throughout the state of Wisconsin. Old National Bank purchased, where's Mike? Old National Bank bought our tax credits on the project. I'll bring him up in a couple minutes here. Federal Home Loan Bank of Chicago, the Neighborhood Investment Fund from the state of Wisconsin, the Department of Administration, the VDA, thank you, Spanky. North Central Construction, our contractor for the project, Knothi and Bruce, along with President Architecture. We went through, 12 plus iterations of site plans for this project, really driven by the residents. A lot of iterations, a lot of little changes as we went through the process, but I really do think we finally nailed it and got it right and are going to do the right thing here. Viroqua, especially Kurt, the city of Viroqua's consultant, spent significant time on this project, making this happen. ACC Management, Lutheran Social Services of Wisconsin and Upper Michigan, along with the Vernon County Veteran Services Office to help us with some of those veteran units once we're placed in service. And Mark Greatbeck with Chosen Valley Testing. This was a very challenging project in terms of a contamination perspective, and Mark really stepped up to the plate to get stuff done here. I also want to thank my partners at North Point Development for continuing to do great work throughout the state. Now I'll bring up Lane Manning of Dream Lane Real Estate, one of our co-developers.
What a great crowd. My name is Lane. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Lane Manning, Dream Lane Real Estate. I'm a co-developer in this project. I haven't been on the front a lot, doing a lot of work behind the scenes here. And I got to tell you, I stand before you very immensely proud of this project, the transformative journey this 65-unit development has taken to get here. It's a special place in my heart. For those of you that are local, I think it's been a little more than 2 years you've been working on this because once a year I fish. I go fly fishing in the Driftless and all it has to offer, and we go to the Norwegian Hollow Hideaway. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. One of the best fish fries in the middle of nowhere that I've ever had in my life. And we've come back 5 years. So the entire time we've been coming back, I knew about the project. We turned right there to go down and just kind of turn with a little grin because anyone in this space knows trying to explain this to your friends, what you do for a living, is like difficult, right? So to come here this year, it was only 6 weeks ago, come here this year and see some, asbestos remediation and construction and movement is pretty cool. So I do spend a lot of time here, Senator. Thank you. It's a very special place for me to run away from my wife and kids for, so I'll be here. From the initial concept to the countless hours of planning, collaboration, and dedication, this endeavor exemplifies the unwavering commitment to addressing the pressing need for affordable housing in your community, my community, everyone's community, all the ones that we partner with. When the city of Viroqua granted its approval, it marked a significant milestone and a triumph of collective vision and purpose for this project. Just like they've all said, everyone here deserves a round of applause. This is a great, getting a affordable housing deal done in a rural environment is tough. All the stakeholders involved, that was impressive. Whenever we do these groundbreaking ceremonies, I always come back. I've been doing this 5 years. I met the guys at North Point in 2019. We've been doing it 5 years. And I go back to one of the early projects that we worked on. It's kind of a reason to drive home what you're doing is important. That particular community, we had gotten the city approval. And for those of you who don't know, once you get city approval, that's the first step of many steps to get one of these done. But I promptly got a call the next morning from this female in her late 60s. Had a great story. She was so excited that we're bringing a senior development to her community. And she said, "Where can I sign up? Where can I apply?" And I, took a moment and explained to her, "This is just the first of many. I'll keep your name, put you on a waiting list." And she started explaining to me. I could hear it in her voice, the weariness and the trepidation that she'd had intense difficulty trying to find a one-bedroom apartment for a senior. She'd had a medical issue that kind of made her go through her life savings, and that kind of put her in a position where she needed some assistance. So, those are simply a place to call home. And we kind of forget about those, that some of the people, those challenges that some people are taking on. So those are our most valuable citizens, and this is going to be a project to help those citizens here in your community. Her words resonated deeply with me at that time, and they still do. 5 years later, that's the reason I do it, because I ran into another lady in her middle 70s, about a year or two later, that needed some help and assistance. I call her Mom, and my sister and I were flabbergasted how hard it was to find a senior apartment for someone with a mediocre fixed income. So you're doing phenomenal things in this community, and I couldn't be more proud to be a part of that and partner with it. So through our unwavering dedication, we're really not constructing buildings, we're building homes, foundations of hope, dignity, and security for those who need it the most, right here in lovely Viroqua, Wisconsin. Together, let us continue to champion the cause of creating a future where everyone, regardless of age, background, or circumstance, can find a place to call home in our beloved cities. With the North Point team and Dream Lane team, we both can't express our gratitude and how happy we're going to be partners now and long into the future on this project. So thank you.
Our next speaker is representing the Wisconsin Housing and Economic Development Authority. Good friend of mine, also the man who taught me a lot of what I now know at the beginning of my career when I was with WIDA, Shrihar Runabout.
Good afternoon, everybody. So I'm here on behalf of Elmer Moore, who is our CEO and Executive Director, who could not be here today. So I head up the commercial lending, or essentially multifamily department there. I've been with 30 for some time, a couple of decades now. And I'm here joined by some of my colleagues. If you could stand up. So Rebecca, you probably know a lot. She's in our community front facing of WIDA. So Angie, who is an underwriter and loan officer for this project, and also Ian, in our legal department, works behind the scene and makes it all happen. So we appreciate you all coming. And really, as I was thinking about this today, we talk a lot about unit and dollars and the connection to the community, but I also want to make one more connection in terms of people, right? So like Jake said, he graduated, he interned at WIDA, we gave him the position, he really worked hard to really learn anything and everything, and look at him now, very successful development. So really proud of you and your career path, and that started with WIDA. That's great. I will not forget Sean O'Brien as well. He held my position before, you were at WIDA for like 14 years or something, and partner doing this kind of development. So connection to the people, that's one thing that's wonderful to see and celebrate as well. So in terms of this project especially, certainly this is a stepping stone towards securing affordable housing options in one of the rural communities again. So at WIDA, it's really hard for multiple reasons to kind of get to the rural areas. And whenever we see a project like this come through, we really root for them and really make sure that this has our full attention in terms of garnering support, because we all know from right out of the gate there is some disadvantage in terms of rents, that these kinds of projects can command, as well as the construction cost, and it's very hard to bring that construction expertise in the rural communities. So from that, multiple challenges, and this project certainly came with a lot of support already with financing package, but WIDA was proud to support this project with our low-income housing tax credit to the tune of $2 million, which brought $12.6 million in tax credit equity alone. Then we supported with bridge financing of another $9 million, but also permanent financing of $3+ million. So We are proud to have another project in Viroqua. In my time at WIDA, I don't remember that we did a tax credit development. I understand there is one more tax credit development here, but to see one more come through, and this is going to be 65 units. That's going to capture really income band from 30% to 70%. So really, it's not just affordable units, but variety of affordable units that is going to be really support the community and really going to be the pillar to also bring, as we talked about it, some commercial space and daycare and some elements of support, and not just housing, but in other areas as well. So I thank all the partners that have been involved in this project and look forward to really working with you all to make this a successful outcome for everybody. Thank you.
Thanks, Srihart. So with WIDA, you go and apply for tax credits. You receive an allocation. You hopefully receive an allocation of tax credits. But then what do you do with them? They're only worth something. It's only a capital infusion to this project and helping to get this project done if we can find a great investor to buy those tax credits at a good price and help close this project. Our next speaker is Mike from Old National Bank, and Old National Bank has proven themselves as a really valuable partner to North Point. They're really easy to work with. They know what they're doing. We're just very lucky to have them as a partner on this project and many others. So Mike, I'll bring you up now. Thank you.
Good afternoon. As Jake mentioned, Old National was the tax credit investor on this project, brought about $12.6 million in equity into the financing package. Personal note, I grew up in a small farming town in Michigan, about 3,500 people. So seeing this innovative project get done in a community like this is always really exciting to be a part of. So thank you to the city for bringing this type of innovative product here. And thank you, again, partnership with North Point, Jake, Sean, Cal, and Lane as part of Dream Lane. Really appreciate the partnership with WIDA. We've done projects together from here to Green Bay, down around Madison, and all over the place. So I'm very appreciative of that. But as part of the financing team, we move a bunch of numbers around, push a bunch of paper, have conversations. But now the real hard work is starting, right? So thank you to North Central as well for all their blood, sweat, and tears that's going to go into this project. So appreciate it.
So that concludes all of our speakers that we have lined up for today. But there is one really important thing I left out of all of this, and that's related to the child care. So we keep talking about the city of Viroqua stepping up and being a really strategic, great partner to have on this project. But I think it is important to note, we went out and worked with the city in designing the child care space with a local provider. The city is now going to be renting that space for $1 a year so that we can provide this child care to a local provider for an incredibly reduced price and therefore pass those savings along to families of the region. So there'll be an RFP. I understand there will be an RFP coming forward to the community from the city to identify a provider, and I think that's a really exciting part of this project as well. Once again, the city stepping up to the plate. So I want to thank everybody for coming today, and let's break ground.
Mention the cookies.
Oh, cookies in the back.